Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
XRP lawsuit. Ripple powerless against SEC's redactions of deliberative process privilege documents. Now, folks, this is a concern that I've brought up in the past. The SEC is going back to notes from years past having to do with all sorts of things crypto related, could be XRP related, could be specifically Bitcoin or Ethereum, pick your crypto related, going back to all sorts of documents and trying to hide specific portions of the contents of these. Now, the good news is, and we found out today, the judge will be doing a personal review of these documents, so hopefully nothing gets by her. But I'll just say, I have no trust of the SEC. They have eroded all trust as far as I'm concerned. Certainly with myself, but with large swaths of the general public, I think it's fair to say, including most of the XRP community. These people are not to be trusted. And so here we are, noting that they're just trying to hide who knows what the hell. And is it going to be something that shouldn't be hidden? Well, I have confidence in the judge, I will say that. I believe that actually both judges in the case have proven themselves to be rather fair. Not that every single ruling has gone exactly how we wanted, but I think that they're operating in good faith. I think that much they've demonstrated. And in fact, most of the pre-trial rulings they've made, it's actually been in favor of Ripple. So on the whole, I don't think we can complain a whole lot. But still, I just do not trust the SEC further than I can spit. I just frankly don't. So anyway, I'm going to share with you the specifics and what's being discussed here. And then there's also this headline from CoinDesk, although every crypto media outlet was talking about this. Gensler says SEC exploring shared role with CFTC over crypto platforms. And this is interesting. So a number of people within the XRP community specifically, including at least a couple attorneys, are thinking, this change, and I'll get into the specifics, but what's happening here, the way that Gary's speaking, it's different than what he'd been saying before, and it looks like he's giving up on trying to rule the entirety of the crypto space, which is a bit different, because before there's a reason that I call him SEC Supreme Leader and Dictator Kim Jong Gensler. Definitely a reason, lots of reasons actually. So anyway, plenty to discuss, but before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Shout out to XRP community member and attorney James K. Filan for sharing the documents relevant within this finance feed piece. There was one posted yesterday as well as one today just about 6 hours or so ago. So into this article we go. I'm actually going to read, they actually set the table like towards the latter half of the article. I want to set the table first before getting into the specifics. So I'm going to read part of a later portion of this article first so that you know what's being discussed here. And this is just a little refresher. I've made a whole video in depth covering this, so I just want to make sure that everybody knows what we're talking about. Anyway, reads as follows. On March 23rd, the SEC requested the court to redact portions of the handwritten notes taken by SEC staff who attended certain meetings between the SEC and third parties, arguing these portions are protected by the deliberative process privilege, or DPP for short. And here's a quote from the SEC. The handwritten portions in question expressly reflect either the author's thoughts regarding subject matters discussed during meetings and or deliberations among SEC staff during meetings, end quote. So they're just making the argument here that what they're claiming that should be redacted, it specifically has to do with DPP, deliberative process privilege. Super duper top secret material that's not to get out here. Now again, with me not trusting, then I'm like, to what degree do you actually think that the stuff that you're saying should be redacted should actually be redacted? I'm just thankful that the judge is going to have something to say about this. But anyway, moving to the top of the article now. Reads as follows. Ripple and the individual defendants, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, have responded to the SEC's request for leave to redact portions of handwritten notes by SEC staff. Ripple admitted that it relies on the SEC's representations and the court's review to determine whether the redacted portions expressly reflect the author's own thinking or reflect deliberations or communications among SEC staff during the meeting. Now, Ripple argued that because only the court and the SEC have seen the unredacted documents, the defendants must defer to the court. to decide whether the redacted portions are in fact protected by the DPP. And so in a nutshell, what they're saying here is, okay, SEC wants to redact a bunch of stuff. Surprise, surprise. Ripple's acknowledging, well, hey, we actually are powerless on this, so we're going to just have to trust that this is all being done in good faith. Which, again, I don't have concerns as far as, in this case, would be Judge Netburn handling this. But the SEC, are they going to try and pull a fast one? Well, wouldn't be surprised. It would be par for the course for these asshats. So thankfully, again, the judge will actually be reviewing this. Here you can see this is the filing from 6 hours ago from attorney James Filan. He shared this with the community. He wrote, Magistrate Judge Netburn has ordered the SEC to submit its proposed redactions to the court for in-camera review no later than April 8th, 2022. And note that in-camera review just means in-person review. So she is going to review this and see if what the SEC is claiming constitutes deliberative process privilege. Does it constitute that or not? She'll be making the determination here. But here's a quote from Ripple attorney Matthew Solomon. While the SEC has submitted unredacted versions of these notes to the court, defendants have not had the opportunity to review the redacted portions and accordingly must rely on the SEC's representations and the court's view of the SEC's submissions as to whether those redacted portions expressly reflect the author's own thinking or reflect deliberations or communications among SEC staff during the meeting. So that's where we're at on that. Not going to be the end of the world. I'm much more concerned, frankly, about the 63 emails related to the Billy Boy Hinman Ethereum free pass speech. I'm much more curious about those. I want to see what the ruling on that is. I'm very optimistic that those are going to get in the hands of Ripple, which would likely, according to Attorney John Deaton, result in settlement within 90 days. And I like the sound of that, by the way. So that's a much greater consequence in all likelihood. But still, this is the thing. And then there's this from CoinDesk. Gensler says SEC exploring shared role with CFTC over crypto platforms. Now, here's a comment. I'm going to run through that real quick, but first, I want to share with you an opinion from an XRP community member who is an attorney named, his name is Bill, and on this topic, this story, he wrote the following. This shows Gary Gensler has reached his moment, realizing his power grab and overreach has failed. He is now trying to negotiate what much lesser part the SEC can keep. Gensler says SEC exploring shared role with CFTC over crypto platforms. So I hope that's true. I don't know for sure. Well, he's been talking pretty ridiculously, but it just kind of makes you wonder, is the writing on the wall? Does he think, okay, yeah, we're kind of screwed with this Ripple case that my predecessors brought forth? Do you think he thinks anything like that? Because it's not looking good for the SEC so far as we can see here. But anyway, into this CoinDesk piece now. Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler said his agency is considering how to split oversight of crypto trading platforms between the SEC and the regulator of U.S. commodities, as most platforms include tokens that fit definitions of securities as well as commodities. So pause to think about this. When you're talking about commodity, here's the interesting thing. And this is the reason that the SEC's approach, one of the many reasons, one of the reasons the SEC's approach is completely absurd. Like, you'll see as I go through, and there's a quote I'm about to read, but they're basically noting here that there are certain cryptocurrencies that look very much like securities. And what I've always noted is, there's utility to be had with certain cryptocurrencies like XRP specifically. You know, owning a security, owning a stock that is a security, of course, you can own that, and then it's worth something, whatever the market says it's worth, and that's based on presumably fundamentals of whatever company is underlying it, right? That's how rational markets behave anyway. Well, with a cryptocurrency, it's not only a vote of confidence if you're buying the cryptocurrency, it's not only a vote of confidence in the actual companies building on top, but it's recognizing you can do something with that cryptocurrency that you literally cannot do with a security. There's utility to be had. Like it's fundamentally, that's what I'm looking for. It's fundamentally different than just purchasing a security, and that's not accounted for here. So that he is now noting that there are cryptocurrencies that look more like commodities or more like securities here, but he's still not accounting also on top of that that's based on centralization and decentralization, and that such things can change over time. Still not accounting for that. So anyway, here's the quote though. I've asked staff to work with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission on how we jointly might address such platforms that might trade both crypto-based security tokens and some commodity tokens, end quote. And he said that during Monday remarks at an event hosted by the University of Pennsylvania's Law School. Gensler said securities and commodities are intertwined on today's crypto trading platforms, suggesting neither agency could act as a sole watchdog over such venues. The chairman shared his customary suspicions at the conference, which focused on the future of crypto, saying all the recent industry advertising, including during the Super Bowl, doesn't equate with credibility. There is lots of innovation, but plenty of hype, Gensler said. As in other startup fields, many projects likely could fail. And since, yes, lots of it's going to fail. It is like the dot-com boom and bust, I acknowledge that. But let humans have the freedom to choose how they're going to participate, if they even want to participate, and let markets go through the messy process of straightening out which cryptocurrencies deserve to be here for the long haul, people voting with their dollars. That's how you do that. There's a reason pets.com failed, a couple decades ago. And there's a whole bunch of companies like that failed, with the dot-com boom and bust. And there's going to be, there's over 18,000 cryptocurrencies. Most of them go away. They will go the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature. But so what? And so Gary's approach is just to prevent humans from being able to even participate in this in the United States, because if it's a security, after all, I mean, you can't buy and sell it unless you're an accredited investor, unless it's a publicly traded company.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.